Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. This is my dwarf burning bush that I got last year. I did a half-hearted attempt at digging down in the soil, both at the nursery and when I did this initial pruning, and I realized this is going to be quite a job digging through these very, very fibrous roots. I'll try and take a close-up of that for you. All right, so the tree, the buds are just swelling. This tree has been outside all winter. The cuts that I made last year are healing. They started to roll over immediately. I'm still evaluating the shoe goo that I used as cut paste. I want to see where this tree. I want to see what the roots tell me. I did this cursory pruning basically to primary and secondary branches in some cases. I want to see what grows. There's back budding happening lower down. If I see that growing, I know I'll only get one flush of growth, but I may cut down to those growing areas to fill this out. I think any way I look at this tree, this back branch has got to go. This side is pretty much scarless. This side's got quite a couple of scars and would have another one here, but you see that this is swelling in this area because these three branches are coming from the same location. So I don't want to make that decision now because today I want to investigate these roots and figure out what to do with them. This is a very, very deep pot. I was sitting in a nursery nearby. This was a tree that I looked at and I left the nursery and came back first thing in the morning to get it. Dwarf burning bush, my first one. Let's see what these roots look like. Oh my God. First of all, I soaked it overnight in a bucket just to get it wet. And first thing this morning, I took it out and let it drain. So this should be wet, but hopefully not too wet. Ooh, comes right out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this was sitting in that nursery for a good long time. I don't even have a saw that I would cut through this with. I'm going to just get raking and see what happens. May go into fast mode. I thought I'd stop fast mode for a little bit just to kind of tell you what I'm encountering and what I'm not encountering as well. A lot of pine bark and maybe a kind of a sandy loam potting mix, like a nursery mix, but here on Long Island, everything is in a lot of sand. I would venture to guess that where I found this, no one had seen it for a while. They had to look it up when I bought it. So I'm not finding any major roots so far. Nothing hard and woody, just fibrous. That could just be a hard piece of pine bark. But I'm not getting through this very easily. This is going to take a while. But I don't think I'm doing any harm to the tree yet. I'm just clearing out the outside layer and kind of working it back. I have a spray bottle here if this starts to look dry, but like I said, I soaked it overnight. I was concerned that this thing hadn't, even with all the rains that we've had, didn't have enough moisture, and that's easily possible. But then again, it looks like it held on to a lot of whatever it had. I'll go back into fast mode, and I'll even skip sections of that. You know what this looks like. How about I come back to this when I'm done? I changed my mind. If I got to go through this, you got to go through this too. Look at the size of that piece of pine bark, and it's solid. I have encountered a few larger roots. I do not know what this is going to bring to me. I've picked up at least 1.5 inches of trunk, which is a great thing. But it could have a real impact on the styling of this. The roots on one side in particular look like they are a little active. Yeah, this is going to take a long time. A lot longer than I expected. I hope I can do this all today. The pot that I've selected for this is a mica drum pot. So a lot has to come out. I would like to see an actual root base. No point getting a tree with this much maturity if you're not going to show off the root base. Something will be amiss when you're looking at it. Yeah, it's an old tree. Why am I not seeing any surface roots? That's the hope anyway, that you get some surface roots. What do you say? Can you stand a little bit more fast motion? Or would you like me to plot on like this? I think I know the answer to that. All right, about 2 hours have elapsed, and this is where I am. I'm still kind of trying to sort out the surface roots, particularly on this side of the tree. It's sitting pretty flat. I've had to cut away much of the bottom, and I've been working on carving it down. It's still a little high over here, causing it to rock. I'm gonna try to chip away at that. And for that, I'm using my old knob cutter. And there is clay very close to the center of this tree, so I'm sure that's the soil it was originally grown in. Still riding high right here. I'm doing this on a wing and a prayer. I did not spend a lot for this tree, but this is to demonstrate what you can do with nursery stock if you got the patience to dig around in the roots. This will fit in the pot that I have chosen for it now, albeit a little wobbly right this second. And I really do think this tree will generate new roots quite readily. That's my hope anyway. Still a little high right here. And I've been trimming down these surface hairs too. They will be under the soil, but there's definitely a high point. The tree will appear straight, there's definitely a high point up here. All right, that's all I have the courage to do at the moment. Let's just see how it looks in the pot. There's a large root cut off here, so there's a bit of a blank spot. Better cut that off too. Okay, Steve, stop. I'm still taking out pine bark. I'm going to go around and try and even out the root base, balancing it out. This is definitely not yet a root base that I can be super proud of, but I think it's on its way. All right, let me clean up a little bit. I did pick up quite a bit of trunk, at least 1.5 inches, if not more. And the tree's got a nice lean to it this way. So I might want to plant it a little bit on an angle. All right, let's get a pot up here and start playing around with it. Okay, I've got the drainage screens wired into the pot, very simply, not with those little fancy loop-de-loops. The purpose of my channel is to show you that anybody can do this. Just some simple nursery stock, any nursery. You just gotta be a little bit selective when you're choosing your tree. And act cool when somebody's looking at what the heck you're doing. And why don't you just buy the darn tree already? All right, so that's a little pumice layer for drainage. The tree's gonna sit on top of that. Actually, the tree's gonna sit on top of a very shallow layer of bonsai soil, which will work its way in between the pumice. And it's a round pot, so I'm not really too worried. About the front right now. It's not sitting flat. I think I have to take down this side a little bit more. Yeah. Sorry to put you through this. A little high in the pot. I need to take it down just a little bit more. I think that's good. I do want to give it a little bit more of a trim around. Let's get that pot back. Okay, the height's about right in the pot now. And I think that's going to be the front. This will come off. All right, let's get some, top this off with soil. It's about center in the pot right now. So let's work this in a little bit. Try to fill all the voids. I've exposed a lot of those roots again, those very fine roots. I don't think I'm going to get radial roots, but I do have fine roots similar to an azalea, although these are not quite as fine as azalea roots. Okay, the tree is not wired into the pot. I'm going to top it off with a little more soil. Using my new copper soil scoop. I'm going to let that side dictate how high I go with the soil. I think that's it. Get some water in here. And I'm not going to water it thoroughly in here. Just enough. And then I'm going to dip it in a tub outside just to get it really soaked. And this one's going back out on the bench. That's it for my burning bush. A winged euonymus. Thanks for watching. And thanks for keeping me company in my backyard. And this branch will be gone. And here's my winged euonymus, my burning bush, all potted up. And ready to grow. I'll be trimming this back once I see where the growth is coming from, understanding that there is only one flush of growth in the season. I'm ready for that flush of growth.